Hello there, dudes and dudettes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. People from Vegas, Reno, Los Angeles, Anaheim, San Diego, Salt Lake City, Provo, Baltimore, Houston, Juneau, Honolulu, Carson City, and San Diego. Wait, did I say San Diego? No. Okay. Alright. So, welcome to Krueger with a Thought, my podcast. This is the third episode. Okay, that's kind of obvious. But the thing is that today we're going to look at, let's see here. I don't know what we're doing today. I gotta check the papers. No, let's see here. Ah, there it is. Okay, so today we're going to do a rebooking of WrestleMania 13. Alright. WrestleMania 13 was pretty much another bad WrestleMania. I would say it's better than 9 and 11, but that's not saying much. But we have a lot of plans today, and I have a lot of things to do to rebook this WrestleMania. And to be honestly fair, oh man, this is going to be a great WrestleMania to rebook. Oh man, I know what I'm going to do, man. So, our first match is going to be match number 1. Flash Funk, aka Too Cold Scorpio, aka Scorpio, versus Billy Gunn. Okay, so I'm taking the dark / heat match of the WrestleMania because I felt like it was a much better match. I know it was the dark match, but I actually thought it was a better match than the actual opening of WrestleMania 13. We'll get to that later. So the match is, the running time is 7 minutes and 5 seconds, and so I felt like we need more of a story. The story could be that Billy Gunn attacks one of Flash Funk's girls, and Flash Funk wants to, beat the crap out of Billy Gunn and just, just entirely just, wants to, just get revenge and stuff. It's gonna be I want this match to be like the same, except with more moves and more, entertaining stuff like that. So let's move on to match number 2. The Godwins, Phineas and Henry Godwin, with Hillbilly Jim versus Mankind, aka Mick Foley, and Vader, with Paul Bearer, versus the Headbangers, Thrasher and Mosh, versus 2 guys that will represent the Mexican luchadors of the 1997. Those Mexican, the Mexican luchadors from when WWF borrowed some luchadors to appear in Raws or Shotguns of. The 2 are Heavy Metal and Abismo Negro in a Fatal 4-Way Elimination match. This match. The original Fatal 4-Way match was the Godwins versus the Headbangers versus the New Blackjacks. Yeah, it's one of those one of those teams that has a new something, and it didn't work out. Versus Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon. in the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match. This match sucked. I hate this match so much. To me, this is like the worst opening match in WrestleMania history. I think it's worse than Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship in WrestleMania 28. Yeah, I went there. This match was so slow, so boring as hell, and so... I don't even know what to say about this match. It was just horrible. I would rather eat my right shoe than watch this match. At least it's doing something. At least it would be doing something than watch something boring. They wasted 4 teams. They wasted Bradshaw and Barry Windham, who were the new Blackjacks. This also showed why the new Blackjacks was a bad idea for a tag team. The Godwins were wasted because I actually think they're a good team. Granted, their gimmick is mixed, but I really do like the team. They wasted the Headbangers, but the team they wasted the most was Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon. They wasted an amazing team. You know what Doug and Phil did? They won. They won a Match of the Year award in a 5-star match of 1992 with Kenta Kabushi and Tsuyoshi Kamushi. How could you waste them? They had the match of 1992. Ugh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound like this, but God, this match. You know what? Screw this match. I'm not gonna put the new Blackjacks in, and I'm gonna put Doug and Phil somewhere else. So I'm gonna keep the Godwins and the Headbangers, but I'm also going to replace the new Blackjacks and Doug and Phil with... Okay, so the story is this. The Headbangers and Godwins have beef with each other because of their feud. Have beef with each other. It's more like a face tag team versus a face tag team. You know, they cost each other the match and very muchly. So, sorry. Oh God, I spaced out. They cost them the win, and win from Vader and Mankind, who won the rights to get the belt to face the tag team championships. To face the tag team champions, which were Owen, Hart, and the British Bulldog, who were a pretty good team, by the way. So the two teams... So the Godwins wanted revenge... revenge on both teams, one for beating them and the other because, you know, the beef is still running. So the Godwins cost Vader and Mankind their tag team belts, and like the Headbangers just attack both the Godwins and Vader and Mankind. So all 3 of the teams have beef with each other. Now, where does Heavy Metal and Abysmal Negro come from? Well, Vince McMahon made a deal with a lot of Spanish wrestling promotions. See, Vince McMahon made a lot of wrestling promotions to have the Spanish wrestlers, which are lucha libres, to be in Raw or Shotgun Sundays. Now, Vince needed to pick 2 amazing luchadors to have a fatal 4-way match with the Godwins, Mankind and Vader, and the Headbangers, because at the time they didn't want to do a fatal 3-way match. Elimination match. So they asked 2 they asked two wrestlers to volunteer. Asked two teams to volunteer. Two people to volunteer. And Heavy Metal and Abysmal Negro agreed that they would be representing. However, they're in the middle of the beef between the three other teams. And Vince McMahon wanted to prove that they were a team, so they beat Heavy Metal and Abysmal Negro beat Mankind and Vader in an episode of Shotgun Sunday, and Lee. So they're now part of the feud now because they actually proved their tag team status and stuff like that. So here's how the match will work. All four teams showed their best, which was the problem with that match. The problem with the original match was that it was boring and slow, but it didn't show the four at their best. Yes, it didn't show the Godwins at their best. It didn't show the Headbangers at the best. It didn't show Doug and Phil at their best. Hell, even though I hate the new Blackjacks, at least making them have a good match could have been better. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, back on. You know, the Godwins and Mankind and Vader show their strength. Heavy Metal and Abysmal Negro show their lucha skills, you know, like a lot of, like, lucha skills. And the Headbangers show, you know, their roughness. Abysmal Negro quick pins Vader for the win, meaning Foley and Vader are out. The Headbangers use the state jobs on the Godwins, Oddwins, and just, you know, the Headbangers eliminate the Oddwins, meaning the Headbangers and Heavy Metal and Abysmal Negro are left. Both teams are at their best. But Mosh pins Metal and the Headbangers win. However, Abysmal Negro and Heavy Metal show. Okay, so the Headbangers show their respect to Heavy Metal and Abysmal Negro. Each of the four men go in the corner to have fun. You know, like, go into the four corners, like, to wave to the audience and, you know, stuff like that. I think, sorry about the stuttering and all that stuff, but I was just trying to think what could have been a great idea for this match. I want to apologize if I talked about the match too long, and I really am sorry. So, let's just move on to match number 3, which is Wild Mark Marrow versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley, aka Triple H, with China versus Goldust with Marlena. Triple H, well, the original match was Triple H versus Goldust, which was just lacklustering. So the original story is that Hunter and Goldust are having beef with each other, but Mark Marrow wants revenge on Hunter for beating him for the IC title, meaning that Mark Marrow has this giant grudge. Has this extremely giant grudge on him, and he will take anybody down, especially Goldust who's in his way. So for this match, I want to show these three at their best. I want to show, movesets and stuff that shows why these three are really good wrestlers. And so Triple H beats Pedicure's Goldust, and he quick pins him. And he quick pins, meaning that he beat both Marrow and Goldust at the same time. So, moving on. Match number 4. The Loose Cannon Brian Pillman versus Rocky Maivia, who will later on become The Rock, for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. Okay, so the original match was Rocky Maivia versus the Sultan for the IC champion. If you don't know, the Sultan is actually Rikishi, aka Fatu of the Head Shrinkers. It sucked. I mean, it's not the worst IC Championship match. That honor goes to Rey Mysterio versus JBL at WrestleMania 25, but it was just slow and boring and just, ugh. Not a good WrestleMania debut for The Rock. So I actually would place the Sultan with somebody that actually deserves to have a WrestleMania moment. Somebody that actually deserves to have a WrestleMania feud with The Rock. And that is the loose cannon Brian Pillman. So the story of this is basically this. After Pillman returns on Raw on March 3rd, 1997, Brian Pillman sees the Sultan challenging The Rock in the match. Well, guess what? Brian Pillman shows up and just beats the Sultan, beats Bob Backlund, and then the Iron Sheik at the same time. After destroying the tree, Pillman tells Rocky that he wants that IC title, and he will do anything to get that title. On Raw March 10th, 1997, after Pillman beats Tony Ray, Pillman sees Tony Atlas in front of the audience and just beats him up. Maivia shows up in the ring and just beats up Pillman. The two are brawling. Rocky tells the WWF fans and Pillman that he will face him at WrestleMania 13 for the IC title. At the match, Pillman and Rock just wail on each other and just, and stuff like that. So here's who I think should win. I think Pillman should win and become the IC champion. And Lee. Pillman uses his hangman neck breaker on Rocky and, wins the IC championship. But he still beats the crap out of Rocky. And Rocky Johnson, The Rock's dad, comes in the ring to beat up Pillman, but Pillman just beats the crap out of Johnson, Oh, this is the ultimate revenge. No, not revenge. The ultimate middle finger to Rocky, that his dad was beat up as well. Match number 5, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay, let's just say this. This was the best match of WrestleMania 13, and I'm just going to keep this the same. If anybody who hasn't watched Bret versus Austin at WrestleMania 13, you have to see it. It's just an amazing match. So I'm keeping it the same. Match number 6, the Chicago Street Fight. The Nation of Domination, Farouk, Crush, and Savio Vega with D'Lo Brown, Wolfie D, JC Ice, and Clarence Mason versus Ahman Johnson and Legion of Doom, which is Road Warrior, Hawk, and Animal. Again, this was another good match, and it's really damn good. It was entertaining, and I'm going to keep this match the same. So, let's move on to match number 7. Doug Furnas and Phil LaFawn versus Owen Hart and the British Bulldog, aka Davey Boy Smith, for the WWF World Tag Team Championship. The original match was Vader and Mankind versus the British Bulldog and Owen Hart, which was not good. It was disappointing. I mean, think about it. You got 4 legends in a ring, and you would fighting for the Tag Team Championship, and you would think that this would be a good match, but it wasn't. So I replaced Vader and Mankind with a team that deserves this type of tag team match. And that's Doug Furnas and Phil LaFawn. So the story is that Owen and Bulldog are holding grudges against Doug and Phil for beating them at Survivor Series 1996, which, by the way, was Doug and Phil's debut. Yeah, it does kind of suck that you lost to 2 guys in their debut. Doug and Phil want the belts, and however, here's a problem. Owen and Davey are not getting along with each other, with, you know, Owen accidentally eliminating Davey Boy Smith in the 1997 Royal Rumble, Davey Boy Smith firing Clarence Mason, and, you know, a lot of other, you know, issues like that. So, I was thinking, in the match, Phil and Davey start. They start and like Phil and Davey are at each other. You know, it has a lot of tension between Owen and Bulldog, who are having, you know, issues getting along with each other. Phil and Doug try to quick pin them, and all that stuff, and then Phil LaFon suplexes Bulldog for the pin, and Doug and Phil are your new World Tag Team Championships, and Owen and Davey start fighting with each other and blaming each other. Your winners are the new World Tag Team Championships, Doug Furnas and Phil LaFon. Match number 8, the main event. The Undertaker versus Sid Vicious in a casket match for the WWF Championship. The main event of Sid versus Undertaker was boring and just not fun. Okay, it's not Undertaker's worst WrestleMania match, but it's like top 5 material, and just, yeah, seeing Undertaker win the WWF Championship, it is cool, but I'm not gonna, you know, it's just not worth it to watch this match, you know. But I actually wanted to put a little twist on it. You know, make the feud the same, except you make the match more interesting by having it a casket match. And I was thinking that this could have been a good idea for Undertaker, that he wins in his own, you know, his own nature. And so Taker wins the WWF Championship, and he puts it in the coffin, and Undertaker is your new WWF Champion. Woo! Man, this was kind of a cool WrestleMania to rebook. And I'm glad I rebooked this one. It took a while, but, you know, I'm kind of glad I did. But now the thing is that, you know, I'm really happy I did this, and, you know, like always, you know. So, I hope you guys had a good time watching this podcast, and let's just say I'll see you guys next time, and I will be doing something really special next episode. So,